Well, a star-studded event tonight in South Philadelphia with LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Austin Reaves, and the Lakers coming into town to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. Welcome to the PHLY Sixers pregame show live from the Xfinity studio on a Sunday night with Rich. I'm Devon, Bree, President of Basketball Operations. All of you in the chat, thank you for hanging out with us on a Sunday night. No birds. You didn't have to worry about that tonight, so we appreciate you hanging out with us as dinner is done. You're settling in to watch your basketball team going for 4 in a row against the Los Angeles Lakers. We are presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. When you sign up, use code PHLY365. We'll get to the pregame picks at the end of the show, courtesy of Bet365. Starters as well shortly. And LeBron James. Will this be the last time we see him in Philadelphia? Huh? We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But first, we got to get into this one. Sixers, Lakers. Going for 4 in a row for the Philadelphia 76ers after defeating the Milwaukee Bucks on the road to win number 3. Rich, when we talked about this going into the start of this 4-game streak here before the NBA Cup knockout rounds begin on Tuesday, we said 2-2 would be satisfactory. They're 3-0 going for 4 in a row. You might as well get greedy. And I think a big part of that tonight too, Rich, is because we know that tonight for the second time this season, only the second time this season, with a 13-9 record, 22 games in the books, this is only the second time we will see Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Paul George all in uniform together as they take on LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers.
Yeah, man, this game's got some juice. Now, hopefully this game goes a little bit better than the last time all 3 of those guys were healthy. That was a week ago today when the Sixers played 8 overtimes, I think it was, against the Atlanta Hawks and ended up losing that game. But this game's got some juice, right? Sixers have won 3 in a row. Yeah, I know. They've played some depleted teams. Although I will say, Devon, I had NBA TV on last night. Did you watch Pat Spencer?
Yes, I did.
Give it to the Cleveland Cavs last night. He's playing pretty well. So I think that goes to show that even as we are hyper-focused on the Sixers, there are goofy results around the league a lot. And the Warriors, those deep bench guys are playing pretty well. So yeah, Sixers have not played against great competition, I would say. They've played against some depleted teams. No need for them to apologize for that because they have been the depleted team for most of the last 2 years. But tonight, you get LeBron, you get Luka coming back from his newborn child, which is great. And you get basically a full-strength Lakers team. I think LeBron is available. I haven't seen.
He was listed as probable for the 6:30 injury report.
All right, so I think everybody but Marcus Smart is playing for them.
Yes.
And you get the other part of this, Devon, is that coming off a night where Tyrese Maxey looked pretty gassed the other night, which is why even playing a shorthanded game, to win a game where Tyrese Maxey just finally ran out of gas, which was completely understandable, but to still get over the finish line, the Sixers can empty the tank a little bit in this game because
100%.
They're only playing 2 times in the next 11 days after this. And they have until next Friday to rest up with a home game as well. They don't have to get on a plane until Saturday next week. So I do think this game...
Friday.
Huh?
They play. You talking about the next game?
Next game's on Friday. Don't have to get on a plane until Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So, I think this one could be a lot of fun. Lakers, very good team, very good offense, have all of these big creators. The fact that Austin Reaves is sort of he is their second option until LeBron starts looking like LeBron at this point, but they have a lot of firepower on that end. Our old buddy JJ Redick doing a good job. This should be fun. I guess the only bummer for me, Devon, is I kind of wish this game wasn't at Sunday night at 7:30 p.m.
I wish it wasn't at this time.
Okay, I'm being nice. All right, let's
just call it for what it is. Bad timing, NBA.
Well, so the Flyers were playing earlier today.
Yes.
And it's like, can't the Flyers move up until noon? Like move their game till noon. And then the Sixers can play at 6:30 or whatever. Because it already kind of stinks that they're playing the Lakers late on a Sunday night. It kind of stinks regardless that they're playing late on a Sunday night. You know I don't like these games in general. But hey, the NBA plays 82 games and they got to jam them in at some point. But yeah, the Lakers, this game has some juice. 7:30 Sunday night game. We'll get up for it. It's fine because we are night owls on this schedule, but I do feel bad for some of the season ticket holders, especially ones with young kids.
To your point about the schedule, I think this is part of the reason. Just a quick aside, fast. I'll go through this quickly. Rich responds and we'll move on. This is why we talked a lot when they were discussing the new arena part of not sharing with the Flyers the Flyers get first dibs when it comes to the scheduling. And this is part of it where while they're not yet, and we know that they have agreed in the past, right after the whole thing with the Center City Arena downtown on Market Street, it's coming back down in South Philly. They're building a new arena, but they're sharing again. From what I understand, that's not going to be an issue anymore. That's all. I'll just leave that there. But for right now, because of this schedule this season, that still plays a part where the Flyers are like, yeah, I'll take the 1 o'clock game, and you guys take that 7:30.
I feel like there probably should be a little bit better cohesion on that. Although I have again, we're kind of we're looking at it from our preferences. Yeah. We actually haven't talked to anybody from the Sixers about this and how the schedules came together. But yeah, come on, you guys are on the same team together now. Let's work together a little better. Okay, that's an aside. But yeah, should be a really fun game.
Should be a fun one.
I got to tell you, man, Paul George. I was really excited. I didn't like those ad reads that Kyle and Derek were doing the other night. There might be some fire return after the game. But in general, that was a really fun game in Milwaukee, particularly because Paul George, I think he's brought it every night of the season on defense so far. The numbers bear that out. The eye test bears that out, even though he's not a guy that takes on the hardest assignment. He really affects the game from weak side help and all of those things. He might have to take a hard assignment tonight because the Lakers have multiple hard assignments. I'm sure Don Barlow, I imagine he gets the Luka assignment to start the game. We'll see. That's the way the Sixers have sort of been trending at this point. But the Lakers, they have 3 guys that can put up a lot of points in a hurry. But to see him on offense, man, that was awesome. That was vintage PG. I think partially you just look at the Sixers played an exhausting game the night before. Just exhausting. Tyrese didn't have it. Felt like Jared McCain was wide open on all of his shots, and he was just short on a lot of them. A lot of those guys didn't have their legs. PG, who did not have to play in this game because they're only playing him on one half of the back-to-back, it was good to see. He was like, all right, I got the most energy. I'll be the one that gets us over the finish line. And he did that. Yeah, and I just thought he just looked very good offensively when they put the ball in his hands. And there's one thing that stood out to me that I wanted to mention is that the Sixers are getting trapped a lot on pick and rolls. Like we saw that against Golden State. Like they just started blitzing their ball handlers, and I don't think the young guys handled it that well. Paul George, how tall is Paul George?
6'7",
6'8".
Yeah.
Okay. Because he is a good 3-4 inches taller than the next guard minimum, he's able to see over those traps. And some of the best offense they ran the other night, they didn't actually get points out of it because I felt like they missed a lot of open threes. But he would give the ball to Bona on the short roll, and it's not like Bona's like Draymond Green able to pick people out, but he has so much space when PG throws it over the top that even he can sort of find the right pass, and they end up getting an open 3 or a drive or whatever off of it. So that excited me for a team that's been playing some very difficult offense for a lot of this year. It's been hard. I mean, and I think for a lot of reasons, like, hey, the defense has been great for the last month and a half. They have trended it towards more Tyrese Maxey centric offense and then more defensive personnel. It's kind of like the Iverson blueprint, the Derrick Rose blueprint, where you have one lead scoring guard who just has to do so much, but you try to make it up a little bit with the defense. It was nice to see some easier offense in that game. I was excited by PG.
No, I'm glad to hear you say that. Of course, we were wondering. Obviously, we saw what you put on Twitter. Maybe everybody else did not, but make sure you go check out Rich on Twitter at Rich_Hoffman there to see his tweets. But with it, Rich, yeah, it was a really, really good Paul George game. Defensively, we know, as you pointed out, what he brings in general. But to see that offense, and look, he made the 6 points in the fourth quarter. He made the 2 big jumpers there, but he was 3 for 9. And but it was the fact that he took the shots.
Yeah.
And they were good shots. I know we discuss a lot when we're watching the game, and then we come here on the post game, and you'll tell me and Bree while we're watching together, but you also let the viewers know that, yeah, you didn't like some of those fadeaway mid-range jumpers and all that stuff. But the way he did it, and the way Tyrese was gassed, some of the other players couldn't make shots. They blew their lead. They were up 20-plus points again. And he said, you know what, I got to stop this bleeding. And the best way for me to do that is to get in my stuff, my shots, my wheelhouse, my kitchen of where I like to cook. And that's exactly what he did. And he saw a couple of defenders that he liked, Jericho Sims being one of them twice. And he made sure that he took advantage of it. And once it fell, he felt the confidence that I can dribble into my shot of the stuff that I know I can make. This is all about the things that they do with the reps and the practicing of one play, one specific shot that they may work on over and over and over again, whether it's with the team or in the offseason with their individual trainer. But we've seen Paul George for 15 years do that. And that's exactly what he did. And it was just great to see it, because sometimes he's going to have to pull that out of his pocket when Joel doesn't have it, Tyrese doesn't have it, maybe one of the other guys does not have it as well. Quentin Grimes couldn't get the shots, even though he led the team with 22. He's right there with Paul George pretty much all evening long. He couldn't get the opportunity there at the end. Paul George could, and he made the most of it and made those shots, which was big for the Sixers in that third consecutive win.
I have a mostly, I don't want to call it a love-hate relationship with those shots, because I generally don't like them. But the other night, when especially Maxey's out of gas, you're not getting a lot of good shot making from other guys. Look, at some point, you do need to just get it in the mid-range, and that is the best shot available.
And this is the fourth quarter. It's not like in the first quarter where we've seen him take those threes on his own without a catch-and-shoot situation. He creates and takes a shot. This was a little bit later in the game where he already had logged a decent amount of minutes on his restriction.
And he got switches on a couple of them
100%,
too, right?
found his guy.
It's a lot easier when you hunt the right matchup and you're able to get those switches. The other team, a lot of times, is going to try and double you, and that's why Bono was open, because they don't want to switch. Or other times players just fight through those screens and they're able to stay attached to Paul George. Yeah, I thought those ones were better. Yeah, so really good PG game. I like the way that he's trending, and yeah, I mean, this would be a huge one, man. If the Sixers could get to 14-19. Going into this nice little break, you get Indy at home on Friday. That's a team that's clearly playing for ping pong balls at some point this year. It would be pretty big. Like, it felt like for a while there, we were just on the seesaw. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Most of the games were close. But, to get 4 in a row and get into this break and tell Tyrese Maxey to go sit on a beach somewhere after this one would be over, this would be huge. But it's going to be easily their toughest test of this past week.
Rich, we said it the other day. The theme has been, as you just laid it out, win, loss, win, 2 losses. 2 wins, another loss. They can never string anything together. Here they are, win number 3, making them 13-9, going for, as Rich just said, 14-9 on the campaign if they take down the Los Angeles Lakers. When we come back, speaking of the Lakers, LeBron, he's back. He missed the last game. The game before, he snapped a streak. We'll tell you about that, what he still has left in the tank. Does he leave it all out there on the floor tonight and tick off a lot of Sixer fans and saying, where was this the other night against the other team, the Raptors? Well, we'll discuss it. Will this be the last time we see LeBron James in Philadelphia? Breaking it all down, Sixers-Lakers. It's the pregame show right here on the PHLY Sixers pregame, presented by, we'll talk about it on the other side.
And guys, the other day, I was over at a friend's place. I'm going to tell you a little more about the details of this in the post-game show, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. And that guy was pumped to watch some basketball, but his setup, it was a total mess, lagging, buffering, and switching between apps trying to find the game. He claimed he was a big fan, but I felt like I was fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a basketball fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place, and the way that I watch, guys, it's next level. It is the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right there in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear that it feels like I'm in Xfinity Mobile Arena. Sometimes I've got 4 games going at once too, because why not? And on top of that, I get real-time notifications and stats right there on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. So next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
And we are presented by Bet365 right here on the PHLY Sixers pregame show. And whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. So when you talk about them, we'll talk about them a little bit later with our picks here as we look at things. But as we discuss it all with the pregame picks, I got to tell you, everybody, today is a big day in the football world. We got a basketball game here tonight. There was one a little bit earlier that I had some personal interest in, and that was a good watch as well. And maybe you are a member of the 90 million users worldwide. You could live bet during the games and make some adjustments if need be. A lot of touchdowns scored in the National Football League. If you're not and you want to be a new customer, here's what you can do. Breaking news from Bet365. You get $150 in bonus bets. That's win or lose. That's right, only at Bet365. When you deposit $10, place a bet for $5, you get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. The bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you're jumping in on your local team's game tonight or the Sunday night football game, make sure you go to Bet365 and take advantage of it now. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And we're back here on the PHLY Sixers pregame show. Sixers, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, all in uniform tonight in the throwback unis as well. And the Lakers will counter with LeBron and Luka back, teaming up with Austin Reaves and the rest of the Lakers, headed up by former Sixer fan favorite JJ Redick. Saw on the Sixers Twitter account, they do their walk-in, right? The walk-in, the photos and all. T.O. in the building tonight. T.O. coming to the game to check out the star-studded event that it is in South Philadelphia, with your team looking to improve to 14-9 on the campaign. It'd be great to have 4 wins in a row heading into this break, as Rich said before we took our pause there for our first read. But all right, LeBron James and the Lakers. LeBron James and the Lakers are 16-6. LeBron hasn't played in many of the games with the Los Angeles Lakers this season due to injury, which has allowed Austin Reaves to really take that next step, which I know I had my doubts. I knew he was a good player. I didn't think we would be talking about, build around Luka and Austin Reaves because he's going to get paid. That said, LeBron James, 6 games this season, he is averaging 14 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Luka and Reaves, 35 for Luka, leading the NBA in scoring. Reaves, 29.3, which is tremendous. We're talking all-star level stuff right now with him. But LeBron snapped his streak that you broke on the show that night when they beat the Toronto Raptors in Toronto to start this road trip, and he snapped the streak of 10-plus points for his entire career. That is now gone. And he was asked about it afterwards, and everyone played it up of had to make the right pass, make the right play. No, we've seen it plenty of times where the rare times where he didn't have 10 points and he had to get that double digits, he got it.
This isn't Danielle Marshall.
Yeah, right. Man, right.
LeBron's been playing forever, man.
Right. So it's a big deal, man, because he's had that long streak. Is this the last time we see him in Philadelphia? And before you answer, my only thing is this, Rich. That man wants a farewell tour.
Yeah.
You know he does.
Yeah, and that's sort of I understand why some people get frustrated with LeBron, because I think Kyle said that the other night, but you're 1,000% right that he is the type of guy that loves the attention, wants the farewell tour. I am not going to argue with you there. It is funny, though, that people still hate on LeBron, and as someone who can definitely think he's corny at times, he likes the attention a little too much, like, it's amazing that he's still playing. This is his 23rd season. It's never been done before, man. So the idea that Father Time has finally caught up to him, it's like when he got knocked out of the playoffs like the last few years, I'm like, dude, like every other player who, the stan culture has ruined NBA discourse for me. And all these other people trying to knock LeBron down. I'm like, every other guy is chilling on a beach somewhere.
They're already in the Hall of Fame.
They're in the Hall of Fame.
The main guys.
They've waited 5 years or whatever. So the fact that he's still going. So obviously we're going to watch the game here in the studio. I will say, as somebody who has covered a lot of games, watching LeBron in person, there's always guys that sort of just move differently. And I've talked about how it doesn't always have to be superstars. I always talked about how Kemba Walker really impressed me, which is how quick and how shifty he was. Ja Morant, when he was...
Especially at their height.
He was a little bit younger. Yeah, and obviously the athleticism is a big part of this. Dude, there is nothing like LeBron James on a fast break charging right at you if you're sitting behind one of those baskets. It's a different type of thing. And I would say that's probably still the case when he's 40 years old now, 41 years old now. But I just am wildly impressed with him. And if it is the last time, just incredible career. He definitely, I have not watched him play a ton of these games, but people, even before that double-digit streak got broken, people were like, yeah, he's finally starting to show some age. And everybody says Father Time comes for everybody. It took a while to come from LeBron, probably longer than anybody in the history of sports, considering how much the NBA is an athleticism-based game. Like, I understand Tom Brady played pretty late into his career, but there are and I'm not denigrating what he did, but you don't need the athleticism to play quarterback. You can kind of just win with your smarts. At the NBA, you do need a baseline of athleticism to be one of the better players in the league. It's crazy, but it does seem like it's finally come for him.
And when you speak of, I've only seen LeBron James here. I've never seen him in any other arena. I saw him here a handful of times during his career, being at those games, whether it was Cleveland, Miami, or Los Angeles. And you're absolutely right, because even as a visitor, there's a buzz in the building. There's a murmur that's going on in the arena that is real obvious when you're there, and you know that is there for LeBron James. That's there for Stephen Curry. That's the type of feeling that you have when you're watching them. So when he does get out in the open fast break, there are a lot of Laker fans in the building, for sure. They always find their way in the building against the Sixers.
The crowd makes a different sound, though. The anticipation,
yes.
And then the reaction.
And it's
afterwards.
Everyone. It's not just the Laker fans in the building.
There's people wearing Sixers jerseys,
it's
too.
Everyone. And even on press row, you don't react, but you're all aware.
Are you kidding me?
And you kind of like tap each other like, uh-oh, it's about to happen.
we react. We react.
No, I mean like jumping up the way that everybody else does.
We're not cheering, but I'll tell you, I think you guys can imagine, there's the old idea that there's no cheering in the press box. Well, in NBA press boxes, at least with Kyle Neubeck and myself, there's an, oh, wow.
Yeah. You get those. And you look at each other sometimes. Maybe you wait for the first person on the press row to make that sound. You might look at each other and go, oh. But
you can make that
it's
sound.
It's a fun time.
Because the whole arena's loud. So it's not like you're getting mad. People are getting mad at you on press row, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole arena is going crazy. So if it is his last season, because if it is catching up, I'm sure he'd want to get that farewell tour announced. Because I remember when Kobe announced his farewell tour, it was right around this time of the year. It was early December. And the first game, I believe, after he announced it was in Philly I believe that was 2015. Yeah, it was the last year where the Sixers were terrible. And that was the first game that they won that year. So
he hasn't been to Cleveland yet. He doesn't go to Cleveland until January.
Maybe he makes the announcement then. But
that's a long time.
Well,
that's a long time. But that said, this is a good one because look, I believe. Look, they always sell out the arena. So if you haven't seen them, I hope that there are a lot of people that are there to witness greatness. You want to see your team win tonight? Sure, absolutely. But you want to witness greatness at least once. And I know there are plenty of people that have simply said, hey, I just want to get down there and see LeBron James play in person. And this is going to be a really good one. There's a lot to it because this is a big game. This would be a huge win for the Philadelphia 76ers. And it could very well be the last time. I don't think it is just because of, as Rich said, I would have thought he would have wanted to announce that at the beginning of the season because they have played already in Atlanta and Charlotte. They have played in Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, and now Philadelphia. I think he would have wanted to, against these Eastern Conference teams, gotten all the love possible that he could get when visiting these other cities. So I don't think so, but man, you can tell that he's starting to lose it a little bit. And rightfully so after 23 seasons in the NBA. It's been a fantastic run. Tonight, I hope he goes down because I want to see the Sixers win 4 in a row going into this break. But let's see if we can get some sort of a vintage, a few moments here and there where we're like, yep, that's LeBron James, a late shot clock, fadeaway jumper, a one to beat the clock from behind the three-point line. Maybe he does leak out into the open floor for a breakaway dunk, transition dunk opportunity in the crowd. Again, you get that murmur, you get that buzz. We can even tell from the television. But it has been a fantastic run for him, and we'll see. The team, by the way, 16-6, pretty darn good. Led by Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves.
Probably overachieving compared to their preseason expectations.
100%.
There were a lot of people before the season that said the Clippers were going to be the best team in LA this year. And obviously their season has been a disaster, but the Lakers didn't make any huge moves in the offseason. They saw a couple guys leave, and they have overachieved. Now, I will say their record is really good. Their point differential, they're running really good in close games right now. Their point differential is not that different than the Sixers. They have been, I think if you look at the point differential versus the record, they have been kind of the team, you want to call it the luckiest team in the league. You want to say the team that's outperformed their point differential the most. It's been the Lakers. Now, I think part of that is that they got closers, right? Like I think at the end of games, if you play a close game, Sixers have run pretty well, pretty good as well. Well, you have Tyrese Maxey, right? Who's been terrific in those games. But I think as we all have acknowledged, you don't want to play close games all the time. You want to be able to blow some teams out. The Lakers playing a lot of close games, but they do have Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic that can get you at the end of games.
Absolutely. All right, folks, let's talk about the starters here tonight. Because as we mentioned, they're back in black. Embiid, George are back in the lineup. They are in the starting lineup along with Edgecombe and Dominic Barlow. So Dominic Barlow in his rightful spot as he has earned all season long. Some really good work. Jabari Walker, we've talked about the two-way stuff, Rich, and what he has done. He was fantastic.
Great shooting the other night.
Yep, absolutely.
Need that.
And the Lakers counter with, as you see here, Luka Doncic, Austin Reaves, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and DeAndre Ayton, who has really started to find his form too.
He's played better for them.
Yeah, he really has. After getting off to a tough start, I thought he would have JJ Redick pulling out his hair. Yams mentioned, want to see, or someone mentioned, I can't remember who it was exactly, that I did respond to when they were talking about seeing JJ Redick curse a lot. Well, you're going to get that.
He loses his mind. He was my guy when I covered him.
One of the main culprits would be DeAndre Ayton. The other would be Jackson Hayes. So get ready for that. But yeah, that was Constantine. I'm sorry. Thank you. I just went back and checked it. But yeah, he was one of your guys, man.
He was my guy.
Talking a lot. And you mentioned the other day about the story you did about how cold it is in the arenas.
Yes.
And JJ's speaking about, man, it's like they do it on purpose.
Well, he's a guy that you would ask a question, and I'd say, like, man, do you think it's cold in this arena? And he would come with an answer, especially if he thought, like, you actually wanted to get into it. He'd be like, yeah, I did a study on it, and we actually have the coldest arena in the league. He's talking about he had to rub, like, icy hot on his arms or whatever just to get rid of the frigid feeling at the beginning of games. So he is a character, obviously. He's
a maniac.
He runs pretty hot, as you said, too. But yeah, I enjoyed covering.
Remember that ESPN commercial where they had him in the room and he was like a scientist with everything up and he's got his tie all messed up, his shirt is all messed up?
Yeah.
That's JJ Redick, That's JJ Redick.
But obviously, like, as you see sometimes on the sideline, he's like Missoula. He can be kind of crazy competitive.
I was around him.
Maniac is
I was around him. I wasn't around him as much as Rich, but he was my favorite non-Embiid Simmons because of that run. He was my favorite Sixer to watch.
Yeah.
Because of what he lacked. He didn't have the athleticism, the speed, and all that stuff. But when he had his speed, coming around those curls, never got tired, all that, and knocking down those shots, not just those mid-range jumpers. He and Embiid would have those, and he would set the screen behind the three-point line. And JJ is like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to rise up and knock this down. And then when he was already JJ Redick, but then they started to flip it a little bit, let me drop this off to Joel Embiid on my going up, drop it off for Embiid on that roll, and Embiid would get a lot of those finishes off of JJ Redick's passes you're not looking at him as an assist guy. But when you have somebody like that, he played with, of course, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and Dwight Howard in the past. When you have Joel Embiid and you can make shots like that, those pick and roll threats there were fantastic. He was my favorite to watch.
Very unique player. And
yes,
like you said, I remember once he got asked a question like, how does it feel to get these open shots? And he told the person, he's like, I'm never open. Do you not watch me play? I have to run 100 miles an hour to get every shot. And he was able to shoot going to his right, going 100 miles an hour. My favorite thing in the little two-man game that he used to do with Embiid, sometimes they would top lock him and he would just screen the guy.
Yep.
He would just walk the guy into Joel's guy and Joel would spin around and dunk or whatever. Yeah, it was a unique watch for sure. I enjoyed it. Like, as a basketball nerd, it was fun to watch because there wasn't a lot of stuff like that in the NBA.
No, it was not. All right, let's get to the Bet365 pregame picks presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I went with something pretty simple and easy, but let's go to Breeze first. Austin Reaves, 4+ threes made at plus 165 for Austin Reaves. What do you think of that one?
I mean,
that's doable. He likes Philadelphia.
He's him.
He's had some moments here in Philadelphia. I like that one, Bree. Great get. And mine was simply Luka, 30 plus. Tyrese Maxey, 25 plus. That's a plus 105 there. If you want to combine those, please do. And when you do so, there's a 30% profit boost right now for the NBA games at Bet365. When you download the app, make sure you use the code PHLY365. When you do, new customers, if you get in before the game starts, and don't forget about the Sunday Night Football game, new customers get $150 in bonus bets. That's win or lose. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. All right, that'll do it for us here to this pregame. How you feeling?
I just want a fun game.
I think it will be.
Just give me fun.
I think, like you said, they leave it all out on the floor because they have this break. Lakers play in the cup, so they Lakers play in the cup games.
If you can get up, maybe like 10 or 15, maybe they wave the white flag a little early or late.
They play Wednesday
because they respect the cup.
They play Wednesday home San Antonio. So yes,
maybe they respect the cup a little bit more, and the Sixers can play their guys. It'd be really funny if tonight our first point in post game was, the Sixers won this game because they're out of the NBA Cup. They were able to go as hard as possible because they know they got a full week off.
Real fast. They break up their 6-game road trip for this cup. They have 3 games afterwards: Utah, LA, Phoenix.
Dude, the NBA schedule is
it's
ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
I mean, the Sixers, I've complained all the time about the Sixers and all these back-to-backs they're playing. Every other team is dealing with crazy stuff, though.
Get the W. Make this a fun game. Let's talk about a 4-game winning streak afterwards. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. We'll see you after the game, 10 minutes after the game goes final. For Rich, Bree, I'm Devon. We'll check in with the guys from the arena as well. Hopefully, because it's a star-studded one, everybody might take their time. We'll do it all after the game. See you then, right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame show.
We all silly like the mayor.